initiating the futures position, margins are blocked in our trading account. The margins that get blocked is called the initial margin. Initial margin will be blocked in our trading account for how many ever days we choose to hold the futures trade. And the value of this initial margin varies daily as it depends on the future price. Initial margin is basically on a percentage of the contract value. What is a contract value? It is futures price multiplied by the lot size. Now the lot size is fixed, but the futures price varies every day. This means that the margins will also vary every day. No, mark to market margin will explain and take care of this situation. As we know, the future price fluctuates on a daily basis, because of which we either stand to make a profit or a loss. Marking to market or mark to margin is a simple accounting procedure which involves adjusting the profit or loss we have made for that day and entitling us the same profit or loss. As long as we hold the futures contract, the mark to market margin is applicable. Let's take up a simple example to understand this. Assume on 1st April, say 2018, at around 9:30 am, you decide to buy IOC futures contract at say 165 rupees. The lot size of IOC futures contract is 3000. 4 days later, on 4th April 2018, you decide to square off the position at 2:15 pm at 170.1 rupee. So it is a profitable trade because our buy price is 165 rupees, selling price is 170.1. So the profit per share which we have earned is 170.1 minus 165, which is 5.1 rupees. The total profit which we made is 3000 shares into 5.1, which is 15,300 rupees. However, the trade was held for 4 working days. So each day the futures contract is held, the profit or loss is marked to market. While marking to market, the previous day closing price is taken as the reference rate to calculate the PL. Say prices on day 1, 2, 3 and 4 were 168.3, 172.4, 171.6 and 169.9, as we can see here on the table. This table shows that the future price movement over the 4 days of the contract was held. Let's look at what happens on day-to-day basis to understand how M2M works. See, on day 1 at 11:30, the futures contract was purchased at 165 clearly. After the contract was purchased, the price has gone up further to close at 168.3 rupees. Hence, the profit for that day is 168.3 minus 165, which is 3.3 per share. Since the lot size of the futures contract is 3000 shares, the net profit is 9,900. Hence, the exchange ensures that via a broker, 9,900 rupees is credited into your trading account at the end of the day. But the question is, where is the money coming from? Obviously, it is coming from the counterparty. which means that the exchange is also ensuring that the counterparty is paying 9900 rupees loss to his margin account. But how does the exchange ensure that they get this money from the party who is to pay up? The margins account, the initial margin which has been deposited by the client, gets debited. Now here is another important aspect which we need to note from an accounting perspective. The futures buy price is no longer treated as 165 rupees, but instead it will be considered at 168.3, the closing price of the first day. Why is this happening? Well, the profit that was earned for the day has been given to you already by means of crediting your trading account. So next day is considered as a fresh start, and hence the buy price is now considered as 168.3, which is the first day's closing price. Now on day 2, the futures closed at 172.4. Clearly another day of profit. So the profit earned for that day would be 172.4 minus 168.3. That is 4.1 rupee per share. The total profit which is made on that day is 12,300. So the profit which we made, we are entitled to receive, and this is credited into our trading account, and the buy price is again reset to the second day's closing price, which is 172.4. The same exercise is carried out on the third day also. Now let's come on fourth day. The trader did not continue to hold the position throughout the day, but rather decided to square off the position midday around 2:15 p.m. at 170.1. Hence, with respect to the previous day close, he again made a loss. That would be a loss of rupees 171.6 minus 170.1, which is 1.5 rupee per share, making it a total of 4,500 rupees loss, net loss. So needless to say, after the square off, it does not matter the future price goes up or goes down, the trader has squared off his position and rupees 4,500 is debited from the trading account by the end of the day. If we look at the table, it is clearly given the calculation of M2M of each trading session. Well, if we add up all the M2M cash flows, we will end up the same amount that we originally calculated, which is buy price was 165 rupees, our selling price was 170.1, and the profit per share which we earned was 5.1 rupees. So the total profit which we made in the trade was 3,000 into 5.1, making it a total of 15,300. So the mark to market is just a daily accounting adjustment where money is either credited or debited, also called the daily obligation, based on how the future prices behaves. The previous day close price is taken into the consideration to calculate the present day M2M. We must remember this. And why do you think M2M is required in the first place? Well, think about it. M2M is just a daily cash adjustment by means of which the exchange drastically reduces any counterparty default risk. As long as a trader holds the contract, the exchange, by virtue of mark-to-market, ensures both the parties are fair and square up on a daily basis. let us re-look into the margins, keeping M to M in the back of our mind. As we mentioned earlier, the margins required at the time of initiating a futures trade is called the initial margin. Each and every time a trader initiates a future trade, for that matter any trade, there are few financial intermediaries who work in the background, making sure that the trade carries out very smoothly. The two main prominent financial intermediaries are broker and the exchange. Now, if the client defaults on an obligation, obviously it has a financial repercussion on both the broker and the exchange. Hence, if both the financial intermediaries have to be insulated against a possible client default, then both of them need to be covered adequately by means of a margin deposit. In fact, this is exactly how it works. Initial margin is the minimum requisite margin blocked as per the exchange's mandate, which cushions for any mark-to-market losses. And this is specified by the exchange. And this initial margin is also blocked by the exchange. Another concept which we need to know is about the maintenance margin. Maintenance margin is the minimum amount of equity that must be maintained in a margin account. If due to mark-to-market, the margin accounts falls below a stipulated level, the maintenance margin call is there. So we need to fill up that gap to take our margins again back to the initial margin level. So this is known as the maintenance margin. You can read more details and calculations about margins in the supportive study material which will be provided with this video.